Hi everyone. Well, we're back on the River Doon. Now, as you can see, I've got two rods tangled up together already, and I've only just walked about a dozen steps. I'll just try and untangle it. Anyway, I've got my micro spay, obviously with the I've got a salmon fly on it. I've actually got a 1/2 inch Red Devil tube, it's a wee copper tube, and I've got my dry fly rod, basically both are Cadence. This is a micro spay, 11 foot 3, I think it's 11 foot 3, it's 11 foot or so. I've got the 8, I've got the line to go with it, the micro spay. It's a 7/8, this rod. Nice and light, easy to use. And obviously, you know me, this is my 9 foot 4 weight for dries, wee wets, nymphs and stuff. It's a good wee rod. I'm not normally a man for carrying two rods. I like just to go for either the trout or whatever, but I did promise that I would come down the river and give the salmon a go. We'll see how it goes. I mean, the conditions are, to be honest with you, I don't know if you can see, but we're in the shade at the moment, but just now the bright sunshine, blue sky, which is great. Most people like to see that, but when the fishers, it's not that very welcome. But in the afternoon, just now it's just leaving 11:15. I was going to come down early. The weather, I seen the weather was to be, supposedly to get a lot of cloud from around about 12, just after 12 to about maybe 6 or so. I mean, I'm not going to fish that long, but if there's going to be some cloud, that's my best chance for both the trout and if there's a salmon. But I'm going to get down to the main pool, which is in the bend. Where you see me, I normally catch a lot of trout. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. I'm going to cross the cattle grid here. Quickest way to this pool is to go down the field rather than walking along the river. So I'm going to try it, I'm going to fish this. There's still a bit of shade on it. I'm going to fish below the bridge, below this pool. But there's a couple of nice pools that's just behind the trees, which are decent runs. They're ideal for fishing, especially salmon fly. And I'm going to do that first, and then we'll have a go with the trout. And both here, we'll fish all over. We'll try just go with the flow, as they say, and see what happens. But if I get a bit of cloud cover, it would be great. I do see a wee bit of cloud in the distance here, which is the first cloud I've seen in a while. But anyway, we'll enjoy our hours in the water anyway. I'll probably fish for a bit. I don't know. We'll see. Never say, don't get yourself too much of a deadline. You rush too much. And that happens with me quite regular, to be honest with you. Because there's always something. But anyway, we'll give it a go. I've actually got the small tube flies. I've just got about a 12 foot cast. I've just used straight through nylon. Fluorocarbon, £10. I've got a cast made up with 2 flies, so 2 wee doubles that I can give a go. It's obviously a dropper. So the dropper can be really good in low water, but we'll see how it goes. For the trout fly, I'm just going to, I've got the dry on, but I'm going to probably end up fishing a wetter nymph off the back of the dry, unless there's fish rising. But the thing I don't like coming down and seeing fish moving when I'm wanting salmon fish, it's quite hard to concentrate. So, and obviously, the River Doon's basically at its normal level, which would be compensated from Loch Doon, unless sometimes they put it up. But no, it looks normal. So anyway, we'll have a bit of fun. I mean, there's lots of bits on this water that I've not fished, especially on camera, and some of the bits are quite sheltered or under trees, so we may do a bit of messing around under bushes and so. But anyway, we'll get down, cross our fingers and have a bit of fun. I'm actually fishing on Sunday as well. If I get permission to fish above the river, if everything goes to plan on Sunday for the trout. Obviously in Scotland you can't fish for migratory fish on a Sunday, but you can fish for trout if you get permission. I'm going to the top of this pool, rumble down. You see how quick it's overgrown into the bushes. Oops, got some here. It's these plants love catching nylon. Ooh, nice wee olives. Spinners. Dancing in the wind, as they say. This is a nice run. The sun's off it, so this is why I'm going to sit my trout rod down. I'm going to put it down here to save me coming back up, and then I'll fish this run at the top. So I know exactly where it is on that bush. And then I'll go back up. Where are we? But as I say, what I've got here is a red devil. You can see there. The red devil's a great fly. It's a 1/4 inch. Oh no, sorry, it's a 1/2 inch. Not 1/4 inch. 1/2 inch copper tube. Gets down, annoys the fish, which I like. It turns them, gets them to either move. If they do move, then I'll change to a lighter fly. Okay folks, got ready to go. I want to fish right at the very top here. Always check your drag. Make sure it's what you like. There is a feeling you get used to. I should do it. So all I'm doing is just, to say, fishing the top of the run. I may be in shallow water at the moment, but my fly's not. Sometimes these fish will come right up into the very top of the pool. And then what I like to do is just get a length of line that I'm comfortable fishing with. And it's just a matter of lifting off. So the river dune's small. You don't need a long line. You're not shooting across the tail or the spare or whatever. So once you get a length that you feel it suits, and then you just then work down. I mean, this is a good trout area. It's a good deep area for not so much spring fish. Is more likely we're going to catch, if we do catch a salmon, if we're lucky enough, it'll be a good sized fish at this time of year. I mean, any fish I've had at this time have all been in the teens, 10 plus type, but to be honest with you, any size would be great. And as you see, the sun's not on this pool yet, so it's best to fish it with go through the pool at this point. And all I'm going to do is step a cast and work my way down. And once I get a length, I'll want a wee bit longer than that. So I'd usually you can either hold the line with your finger, and if a fish takes, you can let it go, or you can let it straight from the reel. It's entirely up to you. I like either, it doesn't bother me. As long as you're not holding the line, just let it run and let the drag take over. Now usually you can mend your line and then you can bounce the rod tip a wee bit, get more life into your fly, but there's plenty of movement in this run here. You can strip in, it's worth doing. I prefer to do that in the slacker water. And oops. I hooked the grass on the far side there, so obviously check your fly if you do something like that. I mean, when you're fishing for salmon, there's the fish determined. I mean, if there's, just now we're looking for an early fish. Normally I normally find them in good pools like the one below, but the grouse, I mean, when there's grouse about, this type of water is great. Fish are running again. This is a good bit where they may stop for a second, and you can fish. You'll catch any fish really. But I'm just going to work my way down. Just let it swing out. The copper tube will get down. If it slackens off the pool, they do start to pull. Now a 1/2 inch copper tube is equivalent to a size 10 fly. So to get an idea. I'm just going to fish down to a wee bit further out. I get shallow just before that stone down there, it's out of the water, so I'll probably stop before that. At the same time while I'm talking here, I'm looking to see if there's any fish moving. I've not seen any. So okay, this is me going into it's basically quite shallow here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move down to basically the main pool, and give them a better chance is there and below, as I say. Okay, right, that'll do here, and then we'll move down. Just grab my rod. Now I'm just coming up a wee bit, dropped my trout rod off. I see the sun's really on this pool. Anyway, I'll go up a wee bit. Just fish. Just above these stones here, so the fish start fishing down. Again, just get to a point where you want to start, and then the length of line you're happy to fish with. I mean, this is, as I say, a small river. The Doon, it's not a big water. You don't need to cast miles. It's good to see some flies coming off, some yellow maize, some olives. So if I do see fish rising, I will stop and have a quick go at them before the sun comes onto this part of the pool. But we'll see, because this area is very good for trout. You see, I'm just going to spend an hour or so fishing these pools. As I say, I've got a couple of pools to fish below, so I'll head down there once we've finished this one. And I'll fish to there's a bench just below us here. Probably fish to about that area before I go down. There's some nice runs, there's a couple of nice runs. There's one really, it's quite under the trees, so it's going to be well sheltered. You see, I'll fish in line with, I'll go fish the fly down to him in line with the bench, and then I'll go down to the next pool. Okay, now we're onto the pool just below where I fished. You can see it's like near enough you can jump across it. If you were really good at it anyway. Maybe one time I could have maybe had a go, but I would have landed in the water anyway. But it's not very wide, as you can see, just there in front of us. I'm just sorting my... I've still got the same fly on. I'll persevere with the fly. This here I'm going to fish to maybe 2/3 of the way down. And once I've done that, I'll go into the next run below. So you can see I'm going up into the tail end of the pool, this pool, to fish into the head of this. And the best way, believe it or not, is just to lengthen your cast. You don't need to cast really. Just come out, get your line in, and then just hang your fly in the run. Because basically it's not worth casting because of the head of the pool. You just want your fly in there, you want to mend it across, and then you can bring it back towards you and you can let the fly swing in and out. Good this when the fish are running, if you get fish skipping through, especially grouse, because they stop in there when they're running. This is where the longer rod comes in handy. It just, you can just mend the line and let the current do the work. I'll just lengthen my line a wee bit so that I can start casting or fishing just below the stone here. I'll fish this one here. This is, if anywhere in the pool I'd catch a fish would be here if a fish is lying. As I say, I'm not going to spend too long. And work my way through. We're going to the bottom, the pool below, which is, it's quite dark down there. It's a nice deep hole. Good trout in that area as well, so I'll be fishing there later. But if we get the cloud cover, I'll certainly be fishing the pool we've just done. And because could be a wee trigger point. Just allow maybe the fish there to take. See, I was too busy looking at flies there. There's real maize coming off. There's one in front here, you can, I don't know if you can see it, flying by. There's a couple I've seen in the last couple of minutes. So they like hatching in the sunshine. Okay, last cast and then we'll move down to the next pool. Okay, we're in the pool as we come down. I'm just going to fish this fast water, and this is where small copper tube comes really into its own. It's very easy to present it and get it to sit, especially if you want to fish just the back of a stone, because you will fish with a line in there if there's a resting or a fish moving up. So I actually thought this pool would have no sun on it, but the sun is on it. But anyway, we'll still give it a go. I think it's just below. I want to fish right in the head of this pool anyway, so especially that far side. There's a stone right in the middle here, so I guarantee I'll hook it. See this fish run here, just a wee deep hole. I mean, you can fish it from the top here right all the way down if you want it. Okay, we're going to move up and we'll try for the trout. So we'll fish the salmon fly through. If I do come back through with the salmon, I'll change to the, I've got, as I say, a cast made up with a dropper, 2 small flies rather than the tube fly. So anyway, that was fun. Unfortunately we didn't catch anything, but then that's salmon fishing. That's what it's for. I mean, probably 1 in 10. It used to be I could go out and I would be lucky enough to catch a fish, and now it's probably 1 in 20. Anyway, we'll head up. I'll get my trout rod. Okay everyone, what I've got, ouch, dragged myself. Anyway, what I've got here is a large, there's a March brown. Even though there is, to be honest with you, there's an odd, I still see an odd one about. But basically I'm putting this on so I can fish this small jig head. It's a small CDC jig head. You can see it's on a Rapala knot, so I'm going to give it as much movement as I can. And I'm going to fish this run. The sun's coming onto the pool big time now. I may go up, fish under the trees further up, but I'm going to try here first. There is a wee bit of the area down here that's still okay. As I say, the conditions is not ideal. I'm still hoping that the promised cloud cover is going to appear. If it does, then that'll be at least an hour or two, a cloud that would give us a chance to catch one or two fish. I mean, I'm fishing basically, I've my tapered leader on with this dry. The dry is still, I can still catch on it. No bark cast here. I'm just going to run it through just covering the run best I can. The small jig head. Oh, there's a trout, gosh. I've seen that trout coming out. First cast. There you go folks. There's it's a nice wee fish as well. Take the March brown. Gosh. I'll just show you. I'm just in the hope I catch a fish and a half. There we go. Gosh, nice wee fish there. Fish a bit. I was going to give it ounces, around about the 10 ounce mark. Gosh, it doesn't want to settle. Shh. There we go. Anyway, lovely fish. Where is he hooked? He's right on the... He's kind of wrapped it around his nose. Gosh, how did they do that? I've got to twist it back round. There we go. It's a Babblasuka, man. Anyway, stunning wee fish. Hopefully you can see that. I'll let him go. Anyway, thanks. And thanks for the mess. Look at this day. This is what they do, twirl round and give you a cast in a perm, as they call it. Well, there we go folks, just right in the very edge. Where you'd expect a trout to be lying in the fast water and then to come out and take anything that's drifting. Especially any olives or anything that's hatching. Usually they'll drift along the edge of the ripple. And obviously you liked my fly, so there we go, great start. You never know, that could be it, but anyway, we'll try. I'm going to be trying a couple of methods and see how we get on. We'll then Fanco this and then we can get started. Okay, that was great fun. I've dried my fry and as I say, I'm just going to fish it along the edge here, this run, and fish the nymph as well. Now it's a great style this, just to cover. Just make sure my fly is nice and dry. Just pop it up here and just let it drift through. I actually saw that fish coming all the way for that fly. Now the tungsten bead, it's a wee tungsten bead, it's a 2mm tungsten bead, so the fly will not float forever. Now it will, and but use that as if you see it shooting away, and then it's tapping the bottom, so it's doing the job of it, so it's getting down. If I find it's maybe too heavy, I'll take it off. It's worth helping a wee wet fly off the back as well. I'll change, we'll see what's going on. I'll try again in this area. I mean, you can present the nymph a wee bit, you could swing it out But if you let it naturally drift down, it gets its depth. If you want, you can tweak it in. But these brown trout do like a moving fly, to be honest with you. When you're fishing wets, I prefer them really, most times, swinging them. Because they're quite aggressive wee fish, they do like to chase things. And maybe that fly is just a wee touch heavy. If it was just a normal metal bead it'd be fine, but I'm sure it's a tungsten bead that's on that. So I'm going to change the point fly, it's just too heavy. My dry fly would fish better if it was just a wee bit lighter. What I've changed to is a kind of medium weight fly. It's basically an in-between Cadence olive type pattern. It's got the latex body and it's got that yellow which suits the yellow mates coming off. It's a bit lighter to cast. Just going to dry my fly first, sorry. Yeah, and it will work its way down and it'll be easier to present it, especially in here. I mean, if I was going to fish a couple of weighted nymphs, I'd be basically kind of what they call high sticking a wee bit, but I'm fishing, there is dries coming off, so there is olives, sorry, there's flies around. And the fish will probably have been feeding on them. So they're like that fish, they just came out of nowhere and took it. Yeah. Just let it drop, cast it, and then just let it drop natural. And fish it on the far side. Just work across. I lost my fly. And I've not seen a fish rise, other than that one that took my fly. So, I have fished for a good hour and a half with the salmon, so the dry's sitting far better now. So I'm just fishing this edge and then I'm going to work my way across and fish the far side, meaning I'll cast my fly mid-water, just searching. It's all you can do in conditions like this. You can't really, there's nothing rising, there's nothing to target. They're just areas where you think fish might be lying, and obviously I know the pool a wee bit. I'll dry my fly, see that. I'll just check your fly, give it a dry. So just put it in my Amadou, like an Amadou patch, and just dries it up. And then get your floatant, whatever you use. There's lots out there. I use the old muslin, and just rub my finger in the pad, and then obviously wipe it on the fly. All I'm doing at the moment is just casting into these areas where, especially under the trees here, in the shade, just dropping the nymph in the dry into those areas. And just looking, hopefully there's a fish lying under the stones over there, right up close, and behind these stones are good areas for fish. And obviously under the trees. All I'm doing is searching. There's no sign of any fish moving at all. Still see the odd olive hatching coming off. So there is fly life. There's one right up against the wall over there. I'm just keeping an eye on it. Just exactly where you would expect a fish to be lying. If a fish takes it, it'll obviously be onto it. Ooh, I'm doing quite quick. I mean, if they dry it, what you're looking for is a fast takeaway. The dry dropping or moving really fast. That's basically a good sign that you have a take. I mean, drop your fly quite loose, like, there we go. Let's take the knife. Right in where I thought it might be. Oh, it's a good fish as well. Oh, it's a nice brownie. Just where I'd expect a fish to be lying. I don't think Mackenzie's hooked. Just get some of the slack line. Oh, that's a brown, it's a nice brownie. Good fish. He's hanging there in the water here. I'll just let him. Not doing anything silly, we'll get him in if we do that. Let him fight against the current. Right. That's quite a nice brown trout. Just give him time. Oh gosh, it's a nice fish. He's a good pound and a bit, probably. Using his weight here. All I'm doing is letting him tire himself out. Gosh, that's a good fish. Ooh, lovely. He's starting to come in now. Just let him slowly come in. And he's going back out. Gosh, that's a nice fish. Just let him settle. And there he is, a nice fish. Ooh. Don't want to Yeah, it's fine now, I'll get him back. Just setting the rod down. There we go, lovely big fish. Hooked the top lip. I'm fishing babless, so there's just caught my fine hair there. Gosh, there's a lovely big fish. Hopefully you can see that. Just let him recover. Oof. And he's away. There you go, that was the nymph that did the job. Cracking. Brilliant. There we go, folks. Another nice fish. We'll continue along that bank, see if we can pick up another one or two. Well, folks, we'll go back up to where that fish brought us down a good bit, so we'll go back up to where we were fishing, which is just up here. There's still, what do you call it, plenty of fish could be lying in there. And that was a crackery of fish, that was. It was probably, I got it's a 2 pound rather than a pound. I realised it was so big to got it in. And very close to the wall as well. It's just a matter of getting your fly to drop in there for a second. You don't have much. You don't need it to drop. I mean, a couple of seconds is a lot of time. As long as it drifts for a split second, your fly's fishing. You're dry and the nymph. Oh, there was one there. You know, it came to the dry. Let's give it a second. I see the olives going down. I'll try. I know where he is. That's the first fish really I've seen rise itself. Should be covering it now. There we go. Perfect. for a day it is like you wouldn't expect to really catch. I mean, it's 20 degrees or so. Just a wee brown bit, it's nothing like the fish I just got, but anyway, it's welcome. In the dry. Beautiful wee brown trout. There we go. Anyway. Brilliant. Well, we can't ask for much more other than the salmon, but if we get the cloud cover, we are meant to get cloud cover, but chances are it's like quite slim like. But there's not a cloud, there's a wee drop in the far side of the cloud, but the sky's blue. But anyway, we'll carry on. Now what I've actually done, I've actually changed to a hare's ear. Basically just a hare's ear nymph. This one's tied with copper wire. I wanted just to sink a wee bit quicker than the other fly I'd on. Oops, I hooked a leaf here. But we'll see, because hare's ear is a good suggestive pattern. And so we'll see how it goes. I'm still fishing in the same area, I haven't moved really. Well, moved in a wee bit, but not far. And then I'll work my way down, I'll try the other areas. I say, still popping the fly out into areas, giving it a sec. That's all you're going to have is a second or so. I mean, what I'm doing is just letting it drop natural. It's going to float for less than a metre, a couple of feet even. And that's enough. And just keep searching. Try upstream, as well as cross. When you see yourself in a certain angle and it looks quite, that you could present a fly quite well, try it. Try against that wall again over there. A bit short. Let's see the dry. And again, when you go further down, use cast up to where you're chased fished. You may get a better presentation. I see the nice wee olive coming down there. Keep an eye on it. See, if once I've tried this, we can go up. There's a nice pool above here. The sun should be off it, I would think. There's pools above that the sun should be quiet, but I'm just hanging about here. I'm hoping the sun disappears so I can try the salmon fly again. I think what I'll do is I'll see if I'll maybe try the pool above. I'll see. Still nothing, no sign of fish. Just that one fish that rose there, I caught it. Actually, that was the first fish I'd seen rising. I'll just work my way back up here. And move up into the run a wee bit. Ideal, that's just working up, covering the water with the dry and the nymph. And as I say, just keep in contact with it. Just the same way you fish a dry fly, just let it naturally drift with the flow of the river. And just cover the pool. As I say, conditions are not the best for, well, nothing rising like, but still we've done well considering. Some nice that napped, a really good fish, one of the best fish I've had in the pool, had in the river. It's up there with the, I had one 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was really big, it was really good size. It's not far off of that. A good size fish. Keep fishing along the edge here, because the brownie will come out from the deep water. When you see something, they will move over. I'll be casting this, just this far side here. It's going through really quick, so you don't get much time in that area. It's through like a rocket. So it only needs to be there for a second or so. Got to be quick in the take as well, whether they take the dry or they take the nymph. It's just, it's fast. Okay, I think we'll move up. We'll go up into the under the trees. Well, I've came up to the, which I thought the pool would be under the shade of these trees behind me. But as you can see, I'm the only thing that's in the shade, so I'll give it a go. I've came up, so I'm just going to fish the dry. and a nymph as I was doing below, so it's quite a nice pool to fish. I've had one or two nice fish out it, so I have through the beginning of the season. So the good thing, the wind's in my favour, it's blowing up the river, so my cast is turning over really nice, so makes it easier to cast. It's a lovely day, so it is. I mean, we've been very lucky in catching some brown trout, some fish. So just let it drop. I mean, that ideal, it just drops the fly nice, like a spay cast. And you can really cover the water with it, so you can. When you've got a longish cast like that, you've really got to be, it's a 50-50 where you hook anything, but oh, I've got a tap there. That was a fish there. That was I think it might be a wee fish, but you never know. There you go, that was 50-50, not my way. I'll try back over, see if there's anything else. Swinging across. Try and mend the line a wee bit. That's better. Try and slow it up. There you go. I took the nymph. Makes a difference making slope a wee. It's just a wee brownie, but it's lovely. That's a wee fish. There he is. Just quiet. There we go. Lovely. Lovely colours. Look at the red spots in that. Really nice. There we go, folks. That's a nice wee fish. Came up. Fish under these trees. And this, the stream here, I mean, the sun's really on it. It's this area here is still under, it's got a wee bit of cover. So I'm going to fish just across to the wall here. I've got a dry and a small, it's a wee Cadence nymph I've got on just off the back. It's quite light. It is shallow over there, so I'm going to fish. It's quite easy to hook up in the certain points anyway. There's rocks there, the fish are lying off behind them. We'll give this quarter an hour or so, and then we'll move up. I fly right on. There we go. Oh, it's on the nymph, that one. I seen that actually fish at first. Gosh, that was right in the ball, like. Not a big fish, but it's a nice fish. Nice wee brownie. Oh, he's away. Saves me getting him off. There you go, folks. Another nice wee fish. So this method's really good, like. Catches lots of fish for me, as you probably see. It's just a good area because of these the branches hanging over. It's shelter for the fish. So if we go, oh, it's a wee brownie. It's just a good area. It's not a big fish, but it's doing the wee Cadence fly. There you go. A wee brown trout. And there's the fly there. It's a favourite fly of mine. Last year it was very good. Like, I caught a lot of fish on it. The fish seem to they're going for it. There's no weight in it. It's tied with CDC. It just sits below the surface, no more. No, I'm not going to spend too much. I'm just going to quickly go up and then a wee cast in the last pool before I go up to the car. Okay, and that'll do it. What I'll do is I'll go up, fish the pool before we head up to the car. Okay folks, this is my last cast. Pool as I call it really. Do a wee quick cast before I head up to the car. Still got the dry fly on, the March Brown. Believe it or not, I've put it on more as a sight, but I've caught on it. And it's a good suggestive pattern. And I've got the wee Cadence nymph off the back that gives the impression of 2 or 3 flies as well. Not just Cadence, good for olives. I keep meaning to take that branch out there. It's one I just got. One wants me to hook it. I should really take it out. Anyway, I'll not go into it. Just fishing along the edge here for a go further out. It's always a good wee bit to have a cast on. Now what I'm going to do before I go up to the car, we quick look at the flies. As I promised, I'll look at the flies I've been catching on. Unfortunately I've lost. One I caught the big trout on, I actually had another trout on, and sometimes on the dry fly, and for some reason it can pull it off. It just get caught in something or it just came off. And but I do have the pattern. It's somewhere in my box. I'll have a look. If I don't have it in the box, I'll be in the house somewhere. But it's basically I guess this again, it's like a Cadence pattern, but it's good for olives. So I'll be back out on Sunday hopefully. I've got an opportunity to fish further up on Sunday. And it's a water I've fished for salmon, but I've never fished for trout, so you can't fish for salmon on a Sunday in Scotland, as I said. But I'll be trying for the trout, see what happens. Pray for a wee bit of cloud cover. All I'm doing is working my way out here. This is a good area at the beginning of the season, but it seems to be a bit quieter now. You get the odd trout. I'll try down here. This branch. Just bigger than I thought. Not going to do the fishing any good doing that, like, but anyway. We'll try on the far side here. Well, that's us folks. It's us bye. To say it's been a good few hours on the river. I've had some nice fish. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'll show you the flies that I've been fishing. Basically, the trout flies. And then we'll head up to the car. So hopefully you can see these flies, but this is the flies I've caught on today. This is a March Brown. Hopefully you could maybe see that. This is basically the Dynamite Harry version. It's ideal fly for hanging nymphs or anything off the back. And as well catching I caught on it. Now my best fish was on this fly here. This is another one of the flies. This is the one with the latex body that I used. It is a caddis fly, but the colour was ideal type for any of the olives. And I caught on this fly. The other fly I caught on was the hare's ear nymph, this one. Just basically hare's ear tied with copper wire. And then last there, the one I was catching on was this CDC olive. You've seen me using this Caddis pupa. Great fly. Again, it's a suggestive pattern. It's good for olives as well. And with yellow maize coming off, that's why I put it on. So there you go. That's the 4 flies, the trout flies I was catching on today. So hopefully, I mean, as you can see, the sun's burning a hole in his leg. Really warm. Got a lot of the sun today. I've enjoyed the time. It has been hard, though I've had some nice fish. Well, anyway, folks, that's it. That's us heading home now. It's been a good 4 hours on the water, and had to work for the fish, but we got some, which was good. And so anyway, we're going to go up this wee hill. Always gets the heart rate going. And to the gorse bushes, still in flower. And as I say, I'll try and get back out on Sunday. I've got an opportunity further up the river. So anyway, again, thanks for watching. Until next time.